Hello, people. This is Good Nature Kitty, back for another Thursday vlog. Um, and if you hear a lot of sniffling, it's allergy season. Oh, it usually kicks in as soon as spring does, but it kicked in full year because yesterday here I went to walk up to the store, and as I was walking, I noticed there's like some really dark, sinister clouds, like like dark blue and everything. Thinking, oh, I could probably beat the storm, and so, and I see lightning come in as I go further, and I get storm. By that point, there was like thunder and lightning, and wasn't raining just yet. I come out, and as I'm walking home, like drops start coming down, and then all of a sudden the wind kicks up high gear, and I could see bits of pollen and dust blowing around, and of course it went into my eyes, and they're itchy as heck, and I'm trying not to itch them. And so I may sneeze a few times, like, because my allergies are just really, really upset with me. They're like, oh, wanting to torture me. But anyway, um, so alongside of that, so last week I discussed um how I've changed starting to make since I started making goals for myself to and it's kind of funny to think why I originally started doing these goals is because I was really depressed and anxious a lot. And it was nice to talk about where I've gone since then, how I've gotten more energy. I do better at work, and like I've been working on my art more and stuff. And nice just to reflect on um each goal and where it's gotten me and everything. Um it's important for me to look at that because I can be pretty hard on myself sometimes, and I'll be like, I'm not drawing enough, and I'm not cleaning fast enough, or like concentrating enough on it, and I could exercise more, and just I just get so negative at myself, and just I should do this and I should do that sort of thing. Um, it's good for me to want to do more. I think it's very good that I don't want to be all the time on video games and um YouTube and Netflix and now Hulu, because lately I've been on a kick to where I want to watch lots of Hulu. Because for the longest time I wouldn't watch it because I got tired of the commercials, but I decided, I didn't see anything I want to watch on Netflix. I decided to give it a shot. And in the process, I found out that they have a lot of old television shows from my childhood. And so it's been nostalgia, like, just thrown in my face. Like, all these shows. Like, they have Family Matters. I loved Family Matters as a kid. Steve was great. It's more than just Steve though. Like, it's more than just Urkel, like, messing things up. The family was just so cool, and like such a well connected family, and it'd be so hard like having all of them live in one house together like that. And it was a funny show. Even before Steve became a huge thing, there was a lot of funny moments, but he really made it something awesome. And then they have Full House. I loved Full House growing up. I loved Michelle, thought she was cute. I'm about between the ages of Michelle and Stephanie, a little closer to Stephanie's age. So I kind of looked up to Stephanie a little bit as a kid. And I really loved that name Stephanie to the point where I named one of my dolls Stephanie. And I I also noticed Step by Step, which that wasn't as big of a deal, but it was still kind of fun to watch, and there were some funny moments. And they had the guy in the band that was the one who caught my attention most is the guy who lived in their backyard in the van. I can't remember why he lived in the van. I'll probably get into watching that eventually, but I watched one episode and then I decided what I really want to watch right now on Hulu is Boy Meets World because that's another one I grew up with, and I wasn't too far off. No, I was younger than Corey and Topanga and Sean actually, because I was still in high school when they were doing the college series. So, um, but I loved watching that too. I loved like all the little hijinks that they'd get into and stuff. And watching it now, it's kind of fun watching how Corey and Topanga did not get along at first. Topanga liked Corey, but and I think Corey, deep down, he had a crush on her, but he was afraid to admit it because she was weird. But I don't know. It's so fun getting into all these '90s shows that they have. You know, they also have Charles in Charge, but that was it's a little hard to remember everything that went on there because I was really young um with that show when we would watch it to the point where my attention span probably wasn't entirely on what was going on. It's incredible seeing all these '90s shows on there. One thing that is missing is Fresh Prince. I wish they'd get Fresh Prince on there, and then they would be complete. I would be in love with Hulu. It's just the commercials is what gets me, and they get so crazy with the commercials. And I know you can pay to have those commercials taken off, but we're already paying just to have Hulu, so it's like I don't know. Anyway, sorry about my nose. Ugh. Oh my gosh, I feel like crap. Um, just, ugh. And what really gets me is tomorrow Lucas and I will be riding our bikes to work. We decided. Um, Today we're gonna get a knee brace so that we can do it. So I really got to get in my apple cider vinegar and honey and take my allergy pills so I'll be ready for tomorrow. Cause I do look forward to the idea of us riding our bikes to work. We were supposed to do it months ago, but what happened is Lucas started complaining about his knee. And maybe I should have taken initiative and just rode the bike to work on my own. But no good insert excuse here. I don't know. I honestly, to be honest, I didn't like the idea of that I'd have to get up earlier and I'd have less time away from Lucas having to ride sooner or head over sooner and just I don't know. Just I kept making these sort of excuses and I didn't want to do it. But it'll be nice to do because I've been wanting to get into riding my bike more often. Um, on rainier days or really hot days, we'll drive over to work and everything. But it'll save us gas money even, so that'll be good. Um, I've been trying something new with my face, but I don't know how well it's gonna work because I feel like my face has been more red since I've been using it. Um, it's witch hazel astringent, but it's possible that maybe I need to give it some time because I've only used it the past couple days. I feel like maybe it's a it's one of those things to where after time it'll start having positive results. But the only reason I'm trying it is because I had one of those weeks where people all of a sudden want to like ask you questions about urization, recommend all sorts of things. Although mine hasn't been quite as bad as it usually is. But it started with my sister on Saturday. She couldn't see my face while we were playing the game, so she wouldn't have known if anything is working. But she was remembering to when we had face chat on Facebook, and my face was all red with bumps, and that was because I was stressed. That was when Lucas was away. And she was wanting to suggest all sorts of, well, not all sorts of things, but mainly Eucerin cream. And I kept having to explain to her, Beth, no matter what cream or face wash I use, my face breaks out. I had to explain to her that it's basically, oh shoot, look what I did. Yeah, I shouldn't itch my eyes because it makes them worse. But anyway, I was having to explain that it's more than just like whatever bacteria is on your face or whatever. It's like your blood vessels, they kind of swell up and everything. And I I eventually had to tell her, I've used Eucerin products. And then I had to name off a bunch of others I've used. And I said the best one that I find that seems to do okay at this point is Burt's Bees. I use Burt's Bees. And it seems to work all right. It's not perfect by any means because if I get stressed, it's my face is gonna puff up and yeah, all sorts of things. Um, it's an ongoing progress, but I don't feel like the answer is finding the exact face wash. And even if that was the answer, I don't think going for something as common as Eucerin is going to be the right answer because, like, if it's as simple as like a product that is that familiar, then my gosh, I don't think as many people would be making such a big deal out of rosacea. But there's so many videos that have been coming out lately of people trying different things and talking about what they've tried. And you watch the videos, and a lot of them they talk about how a lot of what they've had to do is work on their eating habits, and a lot of times they try things like tea tree and jojoba oil. And one lady in particular talked about how she started doing laser, this sort of laser facial thing. And that sounds fascinating, but it's expensive. She said that I can't remember how much she said that she's spending on it, but my jaw dropped at the idea. But I don't know. Anyway, sisters, you gotta love them. And then what happened is, lady at work, she sits kind of at the cubicle right in front of me, and she was offering me candy, and I told her I really have to cut back on sugar. And she says, well, even if you're just cutting back a little bit, doesn't hurt. And I said, but you think about it, food in general has a lot of sugar to begin with without having to take in candy and stuff. And then I started telling her why I was cutting back on sugar. And she's into homeopathic cures like I am. And she mentioned a couple things. She said alfalfa sprout capsules and witch hazel astringent. So that's why I got the witch hazel because I thought, well, maybe. Well, she didn't really have much knowledge of rosacea, but she said that her and her family swear by witch hazel astringent. They all use it, and it kills off bacteria. And when I did go to grab some, I did notice that it says that it's supposed to reduce any sort of inflammation in the face. Didn't say it exactly like that. I can't remember exactly what it said, but um, I'll give it a try. But I hate how people feel the need to like mention, well, do you do this, do you do that? Because it's like they kind of start to compare it to acne, and like I get that it looks like acne a lot and everything, but I kind of wish it was just acne. Maybe it'd be simpler to treat and everything. I miss the times when I had like perfect complexion and things. And growing up, as I had really good skin, and I would use blackhead strips and I would use masks, which are really those. They were like the really fun peel off ones by Freeman's. loved those growing up, and just, I'd put lotion on and I'd put on makeup and yeah, now it's like, ugh. And I told my sister, I think the reason I ended up with such a heavy case of rosacea is because I lived in a place that had black mold. Because you look at a lot of the reasons that people form for why rosacea may exist, a lot of it does seem to be evolved around bacteria. The possibility of bacteria either being in your gut or it could be like on your face causing like dead cells to clutter up. I don't know, that's a weird one, but you know, a lot of it evolves around bacteria in particular, and I thought, well, maybe being in that sort of place did cause something with bacteria. But anyway, enough about that. Um, so discussing where I am with my goals. So, um, I've been at a point where I've been trying to better motivate myself in a lot of stuff. I've been doing a lot of just sketching in particular, drawing nothing major. I was getting into drawing some of the characters from Stardew Valley because I've been playing that off and on. Um, I drawed a few of them. I just, I'm having a hard time like pulling myself back in and just really getting into it. But I think the important thing is that I keep trying to work at it, and I feel like what I need to do at this point is get back to practicing the basic skills of art until I feel inspired. So that's what I'm gonna be working on this week for my drawing is like just practicing all over again until I feel inspired to draw out some amazing things, you know. Because I was even getting to the point where I thought it'd be fun to draw fictional characters that may relate to people in some way or another. And that's why I was doing Stardew Valley, just to practice the skill of drawing people that are not right there in front of me. Because you can get like their basic profile, but it looks nothing like a real person. So you have to kind of try to change it up and make it look like there's actual facial details there. Um, I may try other things though that might inspire me better, I suppose. Like maybe old like fairy tale characters or something. Who knows? But for now, I'm just gonna practice drawing once again till I feel like something calls out to me and I want to do it. Um, I on exercise. I've been walking towards home, and then I have Lucas pick me up when he gets off work. So I've been getting back to walking. I think walking is very beneficial, but right now with my allergies going to haywire, I did come up with a plan on what to do on days when my allergies are really bad or when the weather's not so good after work. I talked to Lucas about this idea too, but it might be a little complicated possibly. There's a mall across the street from where we work, so what I'll do is I'll walk around the mall till he gets off work. Um, I should have done that on Tuesday, as a matter of fact. But anyway, um, I might end up having to do that tomorrow instead of riding my bike to work because I don't know if my allergies are gonna behave. Well, I'll figure a way to get them under control. I just gotta keep eating raw honey and keep up with the apple cider vinegar and take my allergy medicine. It'll get under control. Ugh, I hope. I hate allergies. I honestly do. Um, as far as cleaning goes, that I've been unmotivated to do either too. But I find as I go more and more along with this, I'm less reluctant to pick up after myself. I'm more willing to throw things away at a much quicker rate and keep things a little more tidy looking. Um, Today's not so tidy. I I might have to pick up after my husband though because yeah, he still kind of keeps a mess. Um, I find I keep up with dishes more than what I used to. I don't have as much of a pile. I keep up with the litter and all sorts of stuff. I'm impressed on that. But the main thing is I'm not getting to the deep cleaning itself. It's been a lot of basic cleaning, but progress is progress. I will say that. Doesn't mean that I shouldn't make a goal to maybe push things a little further. Um, I think, on my days off at least, I should be getting to some of the things that I made on the checklist. And I gotta find that checklist. I have a few things I can check off on there. Um, it's really funny. You just saw me um the other day. I was thinking maybe I should clean the inside of stuff. I opened it up, looked inside, and then closed it and said, nah. And that's bad. But I thought I made an excuse that maybe I need to get the right equipment to clean it. And that might not be just an excuse. I think maybe I should. I imagine may need to get like one of those wire brushes. I have a wire scrubber I could probably use. And I know there's specific cleaners you usually use to clean ovens. Maybe I should get that too. But I just didn't feel like I was well equipped, and I really want to get some gloves too because some of the things that I end up cleaning, I end up ruining my fingers in the process, and I know I would be ruining my fingers in the process of cleaning the stove, so I might get that when Lucas and I go to Walmart today, later on today. We're gonna get him a knee brace for when we ride bikes, and we're gonna get something for dinner. But um, I also want to get something, but I can't remember what it was. Oh yeah, I need to get myself another water bottle because I left it at work, and my husband he went to find it yesterday and didn't find it anywhere, and so I might have to get a new filtering water bottle. And even if I find it at work by some miracle, I think it'd be good for me to have two because sometimes I do forget it at work, and then I resort to getting like bottled water, like from the store and everything, and kind of defeats the purpose of having that water bottle. It's really cut back on costs of how much I spend getting like the bottled water. It's like it's about 350 around that for a 12 pack each week. I think I'd get it maybe once a week or every other week. So it's nice to cut back on things like that. Um, so yeah, but anyway, I'll just I'll work on this week on like seeing how it goes for Lucas. I'd ride bikes, see if my eyes don't swell shut or anything. If it all spells, I'll just walk around the mall whenever my allergies are too much. Um, I'll practice my drawing skills until I feel completely inspired to where I could bring myself to draw maybe an old photo or draw a fictional character or just whatever I decide to draw. And as far as cleaning goes, on my days off, I do need to push myself to do some deep cleaning because it's good that I'm getting things done. I'm happy about that. I'm a much cleaner person, and that's a huge accomplishment. But I like to push the envelope a little bit and get things where I've always wanted to be nice and clean and tidy. And the thing that always feels good about it is after I get something deep cleaned and after I see like all this results in the kitchen, I always think, you know, if something were to happen to where I had to move within a week or within 2 weeks, which I know that's not a likely scenario, maybe. Well, it could be, you never know. Um, I'd feel so much less overwhelmed about what I needed to do with the kitchen. With each bit of progress I make, like I'm at a place where I wouldn't have to do quite as much as I used to need to do if the landlord were to all of a sudden say that in 24 hours he's going to be inspecting the place. I just, if someone said that they were coming over, I wouldn't feel quite as shamed at the idea of them seeing our place because, we'd have to tidy up for sure, especially Lucas's area, but it wouldn't be nearly as bad as what it was. And one thing we really need to do, honestly, is go to the recycle center because we got a lot of cans. um, and trying to get Lucas to cut back on pop, but it's not so easy. But after he got weighed and learned that he gained 8 pounds, he's a little more into the idea of trying to drink something slightly healthier for pop. So that's progress. But anyway, that's about all that I have to say for now. I'll work towards those goals. Um, and I will report next week on how things are going. Um, some good things could be coming my way. I've talked to my sister recently. She might try moving closer. We may be getting um, some inheritance money from when my mother died because we should have gotten it sooner, but they wanted to run through things with a fine tooth comb and make sure there was no debts. They only found a couple at this point. Uh, a credit card from a clothing store, and I think it was either dental appointment or vision. I can't remember which, but not a whole lot owed on those things. So I'll be getting some inheritance money, and I gotta decide what to do with that. Because there's been like a couple of options that keep going through my head, and I feel like I want to make the best of any money that comes my way. I want to make sure that I'm doing what's right for my life and everything. So, it'll be nice to get it, and I have an idea of what I may do with it, depending on how much it is. Mostly, the biggest thing that sticks in my mind, no matter what plans I come up with, is I could get some of my debt paid off, and then after paying off some of the debts, I'll like make plans to make monthly payment on whatever's left. Um, but anyway, I do thank you guys for watching, and I'll make another vlog on next Thursday. And bye bye.